Recording in progress.
Hello, welcome to the new moon reading. I am your diviner, Sash the Sage. I will be bringing to you a new moon reading for new moon in tropical Virgo. Really excited about this. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can check the description box below. To do so, obviously, you know, as you are listening to messages, take what resonates, leave the rest. And feel free to use your own discernment and divine, you know, more specific messages from the cards that you see. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so really excited to be doing this. I have been, especially with after the full moon, for me personally, I'm a water sign, Pisces, so I appreciate Virgo energy, especially with this new moon. You know, I feel like things have been really chill. The weather has been rather rainy out here, so it's been, you know, a moment to kind of like slow down, you know, be really intentional and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what's coming up with this reading for the collective. There's been some things coming up with me as well, but yeah, I'm just excited. So let's go ahead and get into it. With this one, I did channeled messages, so let's take a look at that. So we're going to start with earth signs in honor of the Virgo energy. And again, now I know, look guys, I'm real. I feel like I should have an explanation because I feel like lately I haven't been doing the timestamps like I'm supposed to. I haven't been putting the links in the bios and stuff like that like I'm supposed to. And it's been making me feel bad because I feel like I'm not giving you guys everything that you need in regards to just, you know, further looking into things, or even if you see something in the video that you want to learn more about. I definitely needed to do a better job about providing those resources. So that's my disclaimer for the new moon Virgo. Okay, so let's start with earth signs. For the channel messages with earth, I saw the word net, which is interesting. So I do think there's going to be maybe growth gains, maybe some level of networking potentially. I know that webs and spiders have been a theme lately. That's really been a theme low-key since since the whole you know, shots or whatever. So that's interesting that that's coming back. But anyway, so we have that for earth. I also saw the word art, so I think there's going to be some creative processes that you guys are going to be getting into lit, which I think that there might be some strike of excitement coming for you guys, either like a spark of energy, creativity. I feel like you can get things done, especially if we are in Virgo season. The earth signs probably do relate a lot more with the pacing of Virgo, as well as the attention to detail and quality, and just overall kind of like thoroughness. I think that earth signs probably would thrive in this energy, so that's pretty good for the new moon. So the word feel, F-I-L, interesting. So maybe like fulfillment, potentially like, you know, doing something for the love of something. But let's just see what comes up. I'm not gonna speak that, but I do have one more thing I think it might be about, but let's see. Additionally, I saw some really cool images with you guys. It was like this dark blue and purple like night sky, like with the sunset. I'm not sure if you've like ever been in those places to where the land is like super flat, and so you can see the sunset. You can see like the far away, you know, forest or whatever, plains type of thing. It was really cool looking. So I was like, maybe you guys are kind of like looking out to like different possibilities, kind of looking, you know, at the vastness of space that you can cover. Maybe I was also thinking that maybe you guys are getting more active at night, or maybe going out to kind of celebrate the last couple of nights that we have of summer, basically. And then I actually want to channel a animal, just because I feel like animal totems are like really cool. It could be my native side, I don't know. But I saw the lemur monkey with you guys, which is so cute. I mean, when I looked it up, it was actually saying that lemurs are particularly active at night, which gives them like supernatural ghost-like qualities. And I was like, oh, so that's why I saw that sunset. I was like, okay, that's cute, y'all. What else? Good luck, kindness, respect, positivity. Now my earth. Having my Virgo season, so you know, as a Pisces, this is my shadow season. My earth signs have been checking me about being more positive and everything like that, and kinder. But anyway, family connections, in honoring elders or teachers, and then additionally, it was also talking about how lemurs don't have like really like great eyesight, so that makes their other senses a lot stronger. So maybe like, you know, strengthening your internal senses, your third eye sight instead of like your two eyes, that sort of thing. So sounds good to me. I'm not mad at it. I'm really not mad. Let's go ahead and get into the reading, guys. I'm sorry. I just have this I don't know, I hear my voice like reverberating a lot, so but anyway, I guess I'm excited to be doing this. I am excited to be doing this. I just know that I have to like make sure I'm a lot more on point for you guys, especially at least when it comes to the descriptions, the timestamps, everything. So please, you know, give me. I've been living life a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I do have my earth progress rising, but I've been living life a little bit, but it's definitely the quality is going to improve, guys. It's on the way. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the overall energy for the new moon for my earth signs. Okay, voluntary reconciliations. Okay. Okay. Oh, I have to use the oh, I remember the other deck I wanted to use, guys. Oh Lord. Hold on, I remember where I put it. But so far, okay, limitless possibilities. This is what I figured limitless possibilities was gonna come out. Give me 1 second, and because I wanted to get the ancestor messages for you guys too. But I'm trying to remember where I put it. Give me 1 second. Ooh. Okay. My bad, you. Okay. Are you sure the lighting is still good? It's decent. I am ready to do a look. That has nothing to do with it. Let me keep my my inner thoughts to myself. I mean, I'm still gonna share with you guys, but it's just like sometimes I'll be thinking to myself. I'll be like, okay, you don't have to say everything out loud. Okay, hold on. More creativity is coming out. Life giver. Okay, this is interesting. I do think that, okay, This Virgo new moon is very chill. It is very chill. It's not, you know, I don't think it's one of those things to where you feel like you have to do a lot in terms of exerting energy. It's more of potentially about being a little bit more receptive right now for you guys. With treasures hidden in the shadows and well and truly reconciliations coming up, I do think that there may be some level of, I mean, I don't want to say just because I may be Earth rising, but I'm thinking that there is some level of shadow integration happening, to where potentially mirroring relationships that you have are showing parts of you that, you know, have their yin and yang to them. And you're seeing the value in it, of course, but it's more so like, about finding a harmony. Then we have the Three of Pentacles coming out. So I would say, especially with the Priestess of Wands, which is like the Queen of Wands, I would say especially with the Three of Pentacles or the Three of Discs, it is more so about being in a harmonious flow of being able to build something solid, having the right pieces coming together, the right people, the right resources, you know, the shared vision with the three energy. I think with that Queen, it's a Priestess of Wands, but that Queen of Wands right there, you really have to think about like, the magnetic energy that would, you know, that you would be exuding. Maybe you guys already are, you know what I'm saying? I do think that, let's see, hold on, let's see what this shadow work is about. Two of Swords. Ooh, yeah. So this is the Queen of, ooh, my bad, sorry. This is that connection to that Priestess of Wands right here with this Nine of Wands. I think that in regards to the shadow work, there might be two primary like modes of action that you kind of go into, Earth signs, to where, you know, you, especially when it comes to reconciling with people or connecting with, you know, a sense of community, a sense of tribe, or that type of thing, there might be two primary ways that you go about it. One is where, you know, you probably are, you know, discerning, maybe let's not say hyper aware, but, you know, maybe a little strict, you know, how that's a good way to put it. Maybe a little strict. You know, you make your boundaries clear. You know, you have like maybe a front facing way to where people can tell like, okay, she may have been through some shit, but she's on her shit a little bit, maybe defensive, but not really. You might have that approach, and then you may have another side of you to where, you know, you are more so just using like that fiery, confident, you know, I don't want to say opinionated, but just that expressive part of you to truly like make things happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really much of a guard in all actuality. Like, it's actually a good thing. It's actually something that helps you out. You know, like, let's say a woman who is a leader or whatever at work or something like that. You know, obviously she would have some level of boundaries, defenses. She probably has, you know, the hard work that she puts in is pretty apparent. She might be a little bit overworked. You never know sometimes, but you know that the work ethic is there. Sometimes it could be like, okay, I can't step to her all type of ways, but but when you go out with, you know, with this person, you know, let's say y'all do a happy hour, y'all connect or whatever, or in her personal life, you know, yeah, she's expressive, boisterous, you know, maybe has a way of leading and being opinionated or whatever, or making a stance about things, but she's a super team player. She's all about, you know, in some way kind of figuring out how everybody can help each other. So I think that with this Two of Swords, that there might be some level of like an impasse or whatever, you know, when people say like, you know, we're at an impasse, you might be at a point to where, you know, yeah, those 2 points are like colliding at a critical point to where like something has to give. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you have one way about yourself, but do you also have another? And you do have to make sure something gives. And that might be what's being shown to you within like these mirroring relationships. You know, ones that you may be feeling really called to reconnect with, reunite, you know, maybe ignite it in a more like meaningful way, to where you feel like all parts of yourself is actually able to like shine and flourish, whatever. But I do think that, you know, overall, especially if you do, with the fact that we do have gathering around, power of community, and limitless possibilities, I do think that you guys are seeing the support system that you need. With the Three of Pentacles, you know, a lot of that network and that support can actually come from friends too, to where, you know, friends, family, you know, it doesn't have to be something from the past or whatever, although it's a triggering thing. Like, it's actually kind of making you kind of realize that there's some pivoting that needs to happen. I kind of want to look at why is this Earth Life Giver in reverse with this artist? Oh, with this creativity. That's probably why you guys are having that spark of creativity. I think that your part of your service to the world is in your creative works. And I mean, everybody is technically, you know, but I think Earth signs, especially since, you know, I did get that within the channel message as well. I think that you guys are seeing how and where your creative, I guess your creative spark or contribution is necessary. So we have Ace of Cups. Oh, with the Hierophant. Wow, that's really good. Okay, so especially since I'm looking to clarify the why the Earth is the life giver and Earth is in reverse, because that is your energy, Earth signs. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm just saying. I think that I'm just saying that is literally your energy. It could have something to do with your emotions being in it. I think that you probably are, you know, when people say they have muses that are people, relationships, things like that, your muse is probably something that is connected to you emotionally, something that, you know, really speaks to your heart, to your soul, as well as reflect like your spiritual studies, your spiritual practice, like your reverence, your honor, like your, you know, is there a spiritual process? I mean, like, I don't really know how to explain that, but you know how it is to where some people, they have like a natural rhythm and flow of, you know, wisdom that they take in and different practices that they do. Like, I think that your art, you want that to be reflected, as well as, you know, actually to make you happy, feel a sense of pleasure, and like it's like a part of your, you know, something that resonates with your soul. So I mean, I do understand. Really, in all honesty, this is really not a bad energy to kind of be reflecting on for a new. I mean, hey, I think that that's pretty good. I think that everybody's gonna be at different points with this. Everybody's not gonna be, you know, completely, you know, oh, I have it all figured out. I know exactly, you know, what, you know, what creative expression is gonna make me feel like I'm of service to the world, as well as resonate with something I feel like is adding to like my soul's mission and legacy, as well as reflecting like the work and the, you know, practice or whatever that I've put into myself. So everybody's not gonna be all the way there, but I do think that you guys are building towards it. I do think that your greater sense of community and your network in general is probably going to help you out with that. I do think that there might be some muses or certain relationship dynamics or whatever that have like triggered you to kind of like really reevaluate this, or you know what that's going to look like for you. Okay, let's see what's hidden. Fool's embrace, transmuting pain, unbalancing act. I did get trailing on one foot. Okay, so these gnats really are getting on my nerves because they're being attracted to my my ring light, and that's so annoying. Okay, so what's hidden? We have dances on one foot, fool's embrace, transmuting pain. I mean, that I'm about to say. Well, what's the pain about? I don't know exactly what the pain is about just yet. Okay. Oh, this is, for some reason, it's kind of made me a little bit sad. Let's get some clarity about Fool's Embrace. This is Two of Wands again. There's some sort of crossroad feeling. I don't know what this is. There is a crossroad feeling though. Like there is a clear impasse that you guys are at. You got Two of Swords and the Two of Wands. So something is definitely feeling like, you know, it's this or that. It's not feeling like you can have a sense of both with something. Let's look at this Lost Compass. What's this about? Eight of Wands, moving fast. Oh wow, what? Okay, something. I mean, I'm asking what's hidden. I'm always surprised that something happened. I'm learning. I'm like every time it's this collective message too. Like, does something happen, girl? Okay. The Lost Compass. Okay, what's hidden? Okay, so in regards to the actual, you know, what is the balance that you guys are trying to achieve right now? It has to do like what are you truly interested in, basically. And it has to do with like your feminine energy. It's about how you want to receive something. It's about how you want to like be cared for, nurtured. Like what is it that you want to draw in? Like what is it? Like I think it has to do with like your, what is that about? I don't want to say divine feminine because it's obviously men listen to this too, but it's like more so about how you want to magnetize and how do you want to receive. Something about what you are truly interested in regards to that. Like, what are you truly interested in? It's seeming that there's some stark differences. You know what I'm saying? To where you're not getting everything in one place. And in regards to Lost Compass, you know, getting back to integrity, well song resonating, we have the Eight of Wands and the Five of Wands. I think that there was like some sort of rush towards the fight. Like, you know, there are certain times when we may be quick to be, we have the Nine of Swords, that's not Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands, where we're quick to be defensive and things like that. And that causes things to break down a lot faster. And so that's what the reconciliation may be about. Trying to figure out how to, you know, speak to somebody in a way that you feel like truly reflects what's going on in your heart, as well as a way that you feel like you didn't lose your integrity, that you feel like you're not acting out of character, essentially. So that's interesting. Let's see what else is going on. What's hidden? Authority, Father. Interesting. Solidness. I think that you guys probably are showing up pretty heavily in the masculine right now, if we're being real. And that's why you're trying to figure out how to balance back out your feminine energy to get back to where, you know, you're back to being catered to and, you know, taken care of, just because of the value that you bring and you know, not to say the work that you put in, but, you know, what you contribute to the greater whole and how important it is to be protected and sacred. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's like where I think you guys might be a little bit more in, you know, not warrior mode, but, you know, that yang energy. And that's just, you know, something that's happening right now. Daughter of Swords, Judgment. Ooh, it's, and we got the Daughter of Swords. That is the page. I think it is something that needs to, the reason why is because something needs to be said. That's why you have the two of Swords with the Nine of Wands. Like, I think that there needs to be like some final decision made about something because of the fact that you're at a point to where something is at an impasse. Like, it can't be both. It can't, because the overlap is contradicting type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It crosses boundaries. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't make sense. It's not sustainable to have a certain level of two different dynamics or two different conflicting like ideologies, that sort of thing, or two conflicting like interests or self-interest or whatever, two different motives or whatever. They're so conflicting that, you know, a final decision has to be made on it. So, I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's a lot. But I mean, it's not a lot, but it makes sense as to why you guys are kind of like, you know, I do need to get creative. I do have some stuff going on, but I need to kind of get my emotional flow right and get my heart and my soul and everything into it, as well as like, you know, even my spiritual kind of practice with it, you know, so that I'm on point. Okay. Let's look at the, okay. In the universe is your partner. Okay, this is good. Oh, that's so sweet. So yeah, I do think this is why you got the net. I do think the net is like a physical kind of, you know, energetic webbing of people and things like that. I do think that the net symbolism may also be in relation towards maybe the concept of like everything is truly happening for a reason, but there's something else there that I wanted to speak about, because it's similar to like the Anansi. Is it like a what is it? Mycelium or whatever? I'm wondering if it is, but I would have to look into the, you know, the spider archetype or whatever. And I didn't look at that. I wasn't thinking about that fully, but because I'm with jeweled web, it is reminding me of that. And with jeweled web connectivity, it does remind me of, what is it called? The mycelium or whatever. But basically like the, you know how they say like all of the roots in the, you know, like of the trees and vegetation outside are all connected to a, you know, a certain level of like a collective consciousness. I think that, oh, this is 31 and 32. By the way, that's pretty fire. Earth Signs, I got some good energy. This new moon ain't playing with y'all. This ain't playing. This is good. I'm getting those type of vibes to where it does feel like, you know, everything is happening in synchronicity, in pattern, in flow, and you guys might also be like seeing like your own butterfly effect for that. That's something that I got in a meditation as well, so that's interesting. But yeah, you have universe is in the hand, universe is your partner, jeweled web connectivity. I feel like basically you're probably manifesting really quickly. You could probably speak things into existence really fast right now. You're drawing in all types of people right now, and so I think that that's also a part of the reason why you're being maybe more selective, more discerning, more specific about what it is that you want with the whole, you know, Page of Swords moment and Judgment. Like you're like, look, I'm speaking on what is truly destined, you know, outside of the free will. You know, I want something that's like, you know, ordained for real. And obviously, you know, everybody doesn't feel like they have to seek anything outside of themselves. I just think that there is, when you notice that, you know, your actions are being in flow with the universe, and it's not seeming like a fight every time you try to do something, which is we get that 5 of Wands, you know, and that 8 of Wands, whatever moment. You know, when you feel like things are just flowing and connecting without the force, it is something to where you can ease up, you can relax. And then you do get that Empress energy. Okay, let me do one more card for the overall. Oh, wow. And we did get the group thing in reverse too at one point. I didn't share that, but when we're looking at the overall energy, we got group think in reverse, as well as group think in reverse, as well as straddling between worlds. So with this coming up with Dream Thief and this Galactic Mushroom, the Divine Matrix, Dream Thief, you know, it's so funny. I did a personal reading on myself, and I was picking up like the Galactic Mushroom right now for me personally, because I'm in a shadow period, is not how I want to, like, I don't want that to dictate my actions, because it's not going to come from an authentic space, right? Even though I can pick up on collective feelings about just me, my perspectives on things, whatever, that type of thing. Listening to that isn't going to allow me to show up in my authenticity. So with Dream Thief coming out with Galactic Mushroom right here, I'm really thinking that, you would be moving away from your calling, especially since you are so receptive right now with your feminine energy. You're really magnetic with it. If you responded to, like, if you were to play into every like jeweled web synchronicity, every jeweled web connection right now, you would be kind of missing the point and not seeing like your co-creative process with that, because you do have the creative process that you are, you know, really either thinking about or seeing like that's a part of your service to the world. And then you have the co-creative process with the universe as well happening too. So I think that if you listen to the outside opinions or the outside like reverberation to your actions, let's say you do something in an isolated area or whatever, and then the universe wants to show you that, oh, what you did, there's some greater lesson to it. It can show you in another area. Yes, you take heed to that, you receive the lesson. Do you allow that to make you show up in a way that's inauthentic? No. You can say, okay, I've learned this. Okay, so maybe I can switch tones, I can switch word choice or whatever, or let me examine my stance on it. But if my authentic self is still where it is, then you have to realize that, okay, there's a reason why. There's a specific service or part of life that I'm giving to the greater whole and everything that's connected. And, you know, just because I can receive the collective consciousness, just because I can pick up on maybe like the subtle, you know, whatever, the subtle vibrations and stuff like that people are trying to let off, I'm not going to rush to that. I'm not going to rush to react to that, because I'm going to use the fact that I have this power for good, realize, okay, I can, it's like basically if you're telepathic, this is actually a good example. If you're telepathic and you can actually read everybody's mind, would you react to everything you hear? Or would that, you know, that would not be you embracing the calling of being telepathic. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, that's just that's a way better way to say it. So I think that's pretty good. Let's do one more card for the overall, and then we'll move on. Whatever ancestors, guys, let's big message. Peacekeeper Serenity. Wow. Oh, that's so sweet. Just turn up. I have a look at the, you know what? You know what's so crazy? I should know, because most of my videos I've watched, like, you know, enough time so I can know the timestamps and I can know what people have gotten, what the elements have gotten in the last video. So the fact that I didn't watch the last one enough, that's my bad. But this is so sweet for this to be upright. I think you're more so just focusing on keeping the peace and doing, you know, what is going to bring you that harmony, especially for that 3 of Pentacles energy. Obviously, you're building up towards something, and I think that being harmonious and in flow with things kind of laying in the right places that actually just fit, you know, because they naturally do and not by force. I think that's kind of where you guys are going with it. So, all right, let's move on. Okay. Who's next? I think that is air. Okay, air. Okay, so for my air signs. Okay, so I do have channel messages for you guys. So for my air signs, I saw a kitchen with stainless steel appliances. Looked like there was some measuring out of food, clean eating, or cleaning out, maybe clean out the refrigerator, now that I said that. Or meal prep, because it looked like meal prepping, in all honesty. Like rationing out harvest. What else? Oh, disciplining something in the physical. That's what I thought that was symbolic of, because it was just so, because, you know, we talk about like how like what we eat is so like closely connected to like our gut health, which is so closely connected to our mental health. I was thinking that potentially like it was also like a symbolization of disciplining something on the outside or in the physical to get to the spiritual part. Then I saw this one. Okay, it was like a doorway with a coat hanger next to it on the side of like the wall or whatever. I'm like, okay, so hang like a coat. Okay, maybe hanging something up. You know how they have those hangers or those little, what is it? Those like little latch hooks that you can like hang your keys up at the front of your door. Something like that is what it looked like. So I was like hanging something up, a hang up doorway. I don't know. That was, I don't know. I don't know. But I was like, okay, that probably will mean something to somebody. And I was like, also, when I get messages, I do think that they speak, well, visualizations that I get, I think that it speaks to me in my African-American vernacular as well. So I was like, hang it up, hang something up. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But the doorway did symbolize, like, you know, maybe like some sort of gatekeeping sort of thing, some sort of portal. So I was like, okay, maybe, right? I did see a red parrot because I looked for basically channel messages for an animal. So I saw a red parrot, which was really pretty. So repeated omens, the power of details of your words, saying things at the appropriate time. Parrots are also connected to the air element, manifesting through affirmations and mantras. And then I saw the number 4, but it also kind of had the curves like a Jupiter symbol. So I was like, okay, as a Jupiterian, I love that. So I had to keep it, but okay. So let's move on. Let's see what else we get for the new moon. I'm getting slightly hungry, so let's. But okay, come on, y'all. Limits possibilities again. Gather around with community. You're kidding. Maybe I need to start doing the collective message too. I've been thinking about that. Just because I do miss doing them, but I feel like I have to figure out a way to do it in a different way. What? I don't know what's going on here, son. These cards are these cards are interesting. You might also be being, you know, connected to an earth sign as well. That's what I'm thinking in terms of this sense of community portion there. This lost compass, getting back to integrity with this first breath of beginner's mind. I don't know. I think that there might, maybe because, oh, I don't know if that fixed the I hope that I have to check and see what the audio is for the air sign reading from last week. Because you guys ended up getting me talks towards the end of the reading, and I know that you guys got like purity and innocence, and I was like, you guys are probably going to end up doing a detox anyway. So I think that there may have been some, I think that there was some level of a detox or whatever that you guys have gone through or are in the process of going through, to where you're kind of like refreshing your own like subconscious mind. I have to check to see if I fixed the audio for that. Okay. Holy One, inspiration, healer, compassion. Okay. Okay. Air signs, let's get some clarity, because I don't really know where you're going with this right now, because it looks like you guys are definitely I think there's some personal things going on with you, like some personal, just internal things that are going on with you in terms of like your deep thoughts. And I think that the people who are around you, who care about you and support you, are allowing you to keep the hope alive, looking forward to the future, that sort of thing. Maybe, a lot more connection with you, and, if you have like a specific spiritual, I don't want to say practice, because it's more like because Holy One is more about like the divine energy. So it's kind of like that singular source energy. And, obviously, depending on your faith and things like that, a lot of people, they have like some level of source energy that they go to, whether it's ancestors, whether it's the Most High, that sort of thing. I do think that the people who are around you, and then your connection to your inner divinity, is definitely like helping with just the different things that you have going on internally. Let's get some clarity for the overall energy for this specific message. Princess of Cups. So that is like the Queen of Cups. Oh my Jesus, really? Sorry guys, hold on. Okay, so let's see what's coming out here with the Queen of Cups. Ten of Discs. Okay, emotional. We got the Moon. I like this. I'm not mad at this. I think that there's like, are you guys like trying to, I don't think that this is a bad thing. Let's clarify. I think that this is definitely, I think that the outside things that you have going on in terms of your home life, your family, your friends, if you have a lover, your loved ones, that is really helping you stay like super emotionally just attuned, like psychically grounded, feeling like you're tapped in with yourself. Let's get some clarity around this first breath beginner's mind with this. Oh, I should have got my water from over here. I need some water right now, my bad. Okay, but then we have the I always be forgetting to get the water. So we have the Eight of Cups and the Four of Cups. That is definitely going to be connected to this first breath, beginner's mind, sort of feeling this this lost compass, getting back to integrity. With lost compass, it could be like, how it is to where when you first pick up the compass, it has to kind of like just shimmy back. I think that that's kind of where you guys might have been. Like something might have shook you up to where you needed to really like tune into your inner wisdom, your inner intuition, that sort of thing with that Queen of Cups energy. because something emotional is definitely happening to where, you know, you might be releasing some heavy emotional baggage, or maybe just encountering like really tough emotional connections, or just like really, you know, heavy emotion, like feelings are coming up for you. Let's get some clarity. Clarify this for Cups. Five of this. Oh, kind of making it work. Okay. With this, it's kind of like, not to say you're making the best, you're doing the best you can with what you got type of energy. With that Five of Disc, it can suggest that there could be just some overall just hardship in the physical happening, right? To where some things in that you may typically have, or that you know that you would need for your own inner balance, as well as just general, just kind of like healthy disposition, you may not have that right now. And so you're kind of making sure that you are valuing the things that you do have. It does look like the community is definitely there, the home life is there, the loved ones are there, the psychic, you know, grounded, intuitive, like knowing and strength is there. I just think that the actual ebbs and flows of something that's you either are healing, you know, kind of releasing the baggage of, or kind of like facing the emotions of, it may, you know, it could just be a lot, you know what I'm saying? And you could be feeling like, okay, I don't have it all by myself, essentially. When you have that Page of Cups and with that Five of Pentacles, like where I am right, it's like one of those things to where you're expressing like where I am right now emotionally. I don't really have a bunch to give to other people. I'm kind of lacking on my, you know, on my end, to where it's like, you know, let's say you're going through a tough time and somebody, you know, really may need you for something or whatever. You're like, look, I don't really have it to give. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have it to give, but you know, this is what I can do. You know what I'm saying? And you know, this is where I'm at. So, you know, obviously, do you have something to give back to me, maybe, or something like that? That type of energy, to where it's like, you know, relying on your community and having that sense of support is probably really, really helping you. I don't really think, and in all honesty, it may not be something that bad for everybody. I just think that with that Eight of Cups and that Four of Cups, it does feel like it could be something that it's like connected to you to the core. You know what I'm saying? You know how you may have like a small incident, you know, where like, let's say you have a friend group falling out moment or whatever, and it kind of just really stings. Like, you know, like it's like I have my family, I have my lover, you know, I still have my, you know, still working. It didn't affect my finances or anything like that, but that really kind of gutted me. That really, I'm really feeling that. And, you know, I'm a little bit in a funk about that or whatever it is. And so I'm not able, you know, I'm really kind of fighting my own feelings of lack and disappointment and not being able to be fulfilled in all the ways I want to, type of thing. So, you know, it may not be to where it's anything too extreme, but it can still be something that kind of stings at the part it needs to sting in order for you to kind of like really be aware of. Let's see what's hidden. This guy right in the face. Oh, benefactor, grace, generosity. I like this. I love this for you guys, for air signs. I think that it's not the full mover, then this makes sense. For this to be in a hidden, did you not get somebody in a hidden position? Yeah, something coming through. I think there is some faded sort of like prosperity or abundance or something that you guys are just stepping into. I think it's faded. I think that because this is coming up twice in the last couple of readings, so I think that this is just a thing for you guys right now, air signs. which makes sense as why that 10 of Pentacles is there. So it does suggest that, you know, in certain areas you do have things kind of together and squared away. It's just that maybe on your own personal, you know, in your own personal cup, because she is technically filling up her own personal cup here, there's some things lacking. Let's see what else is hidden. Vanishing mirror, ego sublimation. Wow, feminine. Wow. Woo. This is something. Okay, cosmic wound, the divine feminine, vanishing mirror, ego sublimation. This is a combo. This is really a combo, guys. Okay, so I think, especially since we are basically in the physical, you guys are kind of showing up in a way to where it's like you definitely have some things to hold on to and be grateful for, type of thing, right? Or to look at with gratitude. But I think that emotionally, there's some things that are really, you know, I don't want to say cutting deep, but with this ego sublimation, maybe there's some level of ego death, or just really like snatching the blinders off type of thing, you know, where they, you know, how they raise the blinds or whatever, and it's shining a lot. And there might be some things in that area to where it's like, okay, oh, this is some good, wow. Whoa, air signs. Okay. Okay, we have moon cycles as well as magician conjuring. Okay. What? We got to get some clarity, because there are some things happening. But I think that this is one of those, this is chestnut, Lord. Chestnut checkers, Lord. Okay. I'm sorry. I do have like this old lady stuck inside me sometimes, y'all. But okay, it's one of those things where it's chestnut checkers, because this is interesting. With benefactor, grace and generosity, as well as magician, conjuring, moon cycles, they have ego sublimation here, cosmic wound. I think that and the fates, I think that there is something like coming to you that is destined, or maybe someone around you, whatever it is, however it is, you're still connected in this situation, to where something is destined to come forward in regards to just helping a financial situation altogether. And I don't know. Let's get some clarity. It's some, I'm about to say ego sublimation around it. I don't know. That's some, I don't know. Is somebody need to be more diplomatic? Is there some egos at play? Like, what's happening? Two of Swords. Oh, Empress. What is that? Two Swords, Empress. There's something that you or somebody else is like maybe not willing to bend on. What's this ego sublimation about? Judgment. What? With the sun? Sun is this is like Leo. This is definitely ego. This is interesting. I think that there's like a final judgment about like the full exaltation of someone, and that's under question. So maybe if you are about to step into like a different tax bracket, or you know, you're about to, you know, acquire something or take something, you know, where you're receiving something that takes you to another level or whatever, to where you do have the ability to be more generous, to be more prosperous, that sort of thing. And it's fated. It's something that's like meant for you type of thing, or it's meant to happen the way that it's happening, right? Or it is, you know, it happens, or it's going to happen, whatever. And then there seems to be like some sort of conflict, or it's not really a conflict. It's like this finalized decision about like what is the what is in everybody's best interest Is that the best way to say it? Because it's a sun card, because it's like the full exaltation of something. And that doesn't mean, well, everybody gets what they deserve, is a way to say that. Because we do have ego sublimation here. And so essentially with ego sublimation and the sun card and judgment, it means that it's about, I would say justice is more about it being fair, but judgment is about to say, it's really more about finalizing it in regards to what is owed and what is going to cause the most like spiritual transformation, if that makes sense, right? When we have that, and then we have the Empress here with the Two of Swords, it makes sense that somebody is not really budging on what they feel like it is that they truly deserve or what they want to receive. Like somebody's not budging at all on it. Let's look at this benefactor. What is this about? What is this benefactor? Nine of Discs. It's something that you guys are working on independently, maybe. Wow. Ooh, something that you may be putting a lot of work in towards independently. Maybe as a result of just past, I don't want to say past, but just like some shit that's just heartbreaking, some shit that's just hard to deal with or whatever. So it's like, it's basically kind of like how, not that somebody's jumped ship, but that's what it kind of looks like, right? It's like, jump ship, let me go ahead and work on myself. I'm working, the root of me working on myself and doing things independently and on my own in a specific way is because there was a lot of betrayals, jumping ships, and type of behavior. And so therefore what is faded with this benefactor situation is to say like, okay, this is as a result of the work that I have put in, and so I'm going to be receiving those rewards back. Let's look at this Magician and Moon. Devil card. Wow, with the Two of Discs. This Devil card. You know what? I was wondering what this. Okay. I do think that this ego sublimation is in regards to this Devil card. I think that the Moon and cycles, as well as the magic and conjuring, are connected in this. I think that there is maybe some, I don't want to say, I don't know, maybe just some codependent type of behavior or just entitlement, sense of trying to be controlling, or, you know, trying to kind of dictate the balance of something or whatever. There's been elements of that at play. Either I don't know where that's coming from though. I don't know where that's coming from. Clarify the Devil card. I have the Hangman. Inner demons, Four Wands. It could be the relationships though. Fuck. It could be like just some not devil relationships, some devil energy in relationships. I mean, like there's codependency in relationships to where someone would rather kind of fall back and let someone else do all the work in a situation. Some, you know, to where it's kind of just like, you know, analysis paralysis, or just, I don't want to say, kind of like someone who kind of isolates or not runs away, but yeah, isolates or something like that. And, you know, they may be saying that they're working on themselves or something like that, but what they're doing is causing the relationship to be either one-sided, codependent. They may be it's like a sense of creating it's creating a toxic environment. With that Hangman and the Four Wands, it's like a relationship to where, you know, it could feel like there's a lot of loneliness. It could feel like someone always overthinks or is always in their head or something like that. And it causes a level of just lack of togetherness in the relationship. Or somebody could be going through some shit too though, with that Devil card. Like they could be going through some shit and they really got to take some time to themselves for real. And they're battling like, you know, maybe an addiction or something like super traumatic that's happening to them. And they may be showing up with you or you may be showing up with them as, you know, seemingly codependent or entitled or something, but it has something deeper to do with like some, you know, some more heavier energy. So that makes sense with this 8 of Cups and this 4 of Cups. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Something in relationship area with you guys are, you know, is kind of, is bringing some things to light, you know, and there's some final decisions and stuff got to be made about that. That's complicated. That can be a few different things, really. Let's look at the overall energy. Caterpillar opportunity. You know what? The wall obstacle. What is this? Well, song resonating. Okay. Yeah, for real. That's what I do think that for some reason there is some opportunity that is creating a divide, a wall or something. Like it could be something to where, because caterpillar opportunity would speak, you know, towards some sort of like financial endeavor or something to where you can get some level of recognition or, you know, gain some new skill set, something that's beneficial to you. For there to be a wall and obstacle around that, I think that's being created from the people who are around you, air signs, which is why you are focusing more so on the community that is truly helping you guys see more possibilities and things like that. The sense of community that allows you to feel like spiritually grounded, psychically, you know, not psychically magnetic, but like psychically tuned in and, you know, strong and all of that, you know, with that Queen of Cups energy. That's where you guys are going to see the most support. But when it comes to those relationships to where you get that 8 of Cups energy, you get that 4 of Cups energy, to where it feels like it's bringing up like really tough emotional, not triggers, but just like patterns and shit like that. You know, you really have to be mindful, especially since a lot of what is coming forth for you is because you've been working so hard on yourself and your specific endeavors independently. And it looks like it was some betrayals and hurts that you had to get through to even get to the point that you're at now. Let's look at the overall energy. Diving deep into a task, wood-wise adaptability. Okay, that's good. I do think that you are, with these new opportunities coming in, I don't know what that's going to be. Either it could be new job opportunities, it could be, you know, new ways to collaborate, you know, a new source of income, that sort of thing. I think that you guys are going to be able to dive into it fully, but you're gonna have to, there's some level of a switch up or a pivot that you're gonna have to do. It's probably around your relationships and stuff like that. Mineral solidness, and what else? Serenity. Okay, yeah, because you're all about not keeping the peace, but making sure that you create those safe sacred places to where you can be at peace, to where your peace cannot be disturbed. Solidness and peace means like you're an unshakable force, like nobody can't stop you. So I like that energy. All right, I love this for you, air signs. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so let's move on to the water. Okay, so with water, for the channel messages, I have restless, ready to get going, or started on something, or moving on something. Time out, a break to strategize and create a plan. Like it was like literally like a basketball court timeout moment. I'm like, okay. Nurturing and paying extra attention to parts of you that you normally just rely on to work. Feeling some level of like aches and things like that. So I think that you guys are just making sure that you guys just pay attention to that. What else did I see for the water signs? Wild cub. It was very cute. That's like a baby. It was like it's like a baby lion, baby cheetah, or whatever. I looked that up. So that symbolizes protection, courage, resilience, presence in the moment, playful, fresh disposition on life, and curiosity. And the numbers I saw was 113. So interesting. I think for the water signs, I don't know where it's gonna go. And to be completely honest with the other channel messages, they showed up in different ways later on. So it's, you know, I think it was like the earth where it was like everything was like boop boop popping up in the reading. Okay, let's look at the overall energy. Ooh. Okay, Tidy House Organization, Fool's Embrace, Transmuting Pain. So a tidy house, clarity and organization. I think that, oh, let me go ahead and start pulling the cards. Let's see what else we get. Watchers, Transpersonal. Perfect Storm. Okay. With this tidy house, clarity and organization, I think that this is definitely about you guys, especially with this Virgo new moon, about you guys being a lot more efficient and system oriented with how you go about things. I think that, especially with this, it being related to transmuting pain, I do think that there are certain ways that you guys maybe have been perceiving things, connecting with things, or just like different triggers or emotional like traumas or whatever that come up. I think that there probably has had to be a reorganization in how you either express it, show up with it. It's kind of like if you're alchemizing, you know, a part of yourself that was maybe wounded in high school or whatever, or as a child, or within a specific relationship or whatever. You're kind of like really seeing like, okay, this is where I get muddled. This is where, you know, my subconscious or whatever takes over, and I need to kind of clarify those neural pathways, and so I can think properly about this, whatever, or perceive something properly. With Perfect Storm, the courage to step into life, as well as with Watchers Transpersonal, I do think that that makes a lot of sense, because I do think that there may be some level of like you guys being able to perceive that you're being watched closely, that there are people who are, you know, like perceiving you in general, that that you guys may either shy away from or react out of like old patterns or something like that, or from old wounds or specific like chronic wounds or things like that you may have. And instead of reacting in that way, you get a moment to clarify, to organize, because like the ways that certain things happen, like you couldn't show up in the way that you may have when you first got wounded. You had to show that you've been able to alchemize. Let's see what else is going on. Overall energy, moon cycles. Oh wow. Okay, solidness. Okay, and maybe too, you know how this, to me, like this is, especially with that Fool's Embrace, Transmuting Pain, that can look a lot of different ways, to where you could be actually carving out outlets for yourself to have like your full ebb and flow of emotion, if that makes sense. To where if you need to get some rage out, if you need to be like, you know, give yourself some hard pills to swallow, you know, kind of had like some of those tougher conversations with others or something like that, or even yourself, like you're giving your card, like with the moons and cycles, you guys are seeing like the ebb and flow, the time and the place, and how to, you know, bring those areas to light for yourself, so that you can, you know, be sure that you're fully alchemizing it, or, you know, that you have things compartmentalized correctly. Let's clarify. All right, let's clarify this Fool's Embrace. What's going on? King of Cups. Okay, this is definitely y'all. Okay, so for the water signs, I'm thinking Ace of Pentacles. Okay, there's some, is this emotional maturity? Let's see. Let's clarify this Ace of Pentacles with Fool's Embrace. This is interesting. Ten of Wands. Oh, Ten of Wands. Something about conflict, but it's like overwhelmed, when you're overstimulated too. I think that transmuting, okay, Jesus. Y'all could be dealing with the earth sign, yes. Water signs, y'all could be. But what I'm thinking is that y'all could be dealing with earth sign. Let's just say that. There could be an earth sign involved, but I'm thinking in terms of, this is just you, especially because it's king and king. Well, that could still be two different people who are, you know, more so reacting towards each other. But with this King of Cups and this Ace of Pentacles, it's more so reading to me as like needing to, or it's an overall energy. It's like having yourself fully emotionally, spiritually, you know, invested in something particular, right? I think that with that Fool's Embrace, transmuting pain, maybe the Tidy House organization, you might have had your energy spread thin or something like that. And now you guys have to, like, fully holistically, in the most grounded way that you can, you know, while staying in touch with your, you know, your psychic abilities, your watery ways, you know, those intuitive gifts that you do have, but, you know, show up in a masculine way to where it's like mature, you know, it's leveled, it's, you know, that sort of thing. And you're actually showing up fully invested into a particular area. So, you know, it could be an interest, it could be like a specific like endeavor that's related to finances or something like that. The reason being that you would want to make sure that you're like fully like aligned and, you know, showing up centered in the way that you would want is maybe because in the past, when you have like shown the effort, like the physical effort, you know, to materialize it, whether that was, you know, providing resources, you know, sharing gifts, sharing energy, you know, doing acts of service or whatever, you may have been felt with feeling like you're overwhelmed, you know, you're burnt out, you're tired, you know what I'm saying? You don't really have any resolve, you know what I'm saying? You may have felt like you were giving, you know, to exhaustion. That could be a thing that's happening. If these are two people, I think that there is some, there's not really a lot of balance between like the yin and the yang energy here. It seems like, you know, one person wants to pretty much exhaust themselves into whatever it is that they, you know, are trying to invest in or whatever. And the other person is more so kind of like just initially taking the first steps or whatever. Let's get some clarity around what this perfect storm is about. And 10 of disc. Woo. Oh, and a 9 of disc. Okay, this is family related for sure. It could be family, or it could just be somebody that you have like some level of obligation to. You know what I'm saying? To where it's somebody that, or not even somebody, just even like groups. It could be like a full group, a household type of thing. If you think about a household, even think about like a business, because it's a 10 of Pentacles too. It could be like even a business or some sort of like established system and foundation, and you know, that also includes other people. You know, there's the perfect storm, there's some conflict between you doing things the way that you would want to independently and have that independent sort of growth and sense of like autonomy or sense of authority. There's a conflict between how you want to do things for you to have your own individual, you know, independent contribution to what you're trying to do. And there's a conflict between what the other, you know, what is expected of you, essentially, to where it's like, maybe, you know, you're thinking about, like, if it's a job situation, you're more so focused on, you know, doing what you have to do to get promoted and to move to a different department, while your, you know, current manager is like, oh, well, we need you here, you know, we can get you more pay if you stay here in this specific area or whatever, that type of thing, right? So it's like, listen, it kind of just conflicts, you know what I mean? With this Watchers, it does suggest that this is somebody, or this is like a situation to where, you know, what you do is accounted for. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're paying attention. If it is like a household thing, then your family members are paying attention. You're, you know, to how, you know, independent are you're about to be right now. If it's a relationship thing, that means they're, you know, they might be doing little levels of lurking or asking additional questions so they can get some more information, so that they can know about certain things. You know, it's that type of energy, to where what you're doing is being accounted for, and it is creating a perfect storm, to where, you know, you are going to have to singular out your energy. You are going to have to decide what you're going to put your energy towards full-fledged, that you can be organized about, on top of things with, and on point. Okay, let's see what's hidden. That's definitely moving out of stagnation, intentionality. I am seeing that. I do think that there is, like, you know, there's a call for you guys to be at a singular point. I think, water signs, it's time for you guys to put and devote all of your energy at a singular point, because it's going to allow you to either make better progress or bring certain things that are coming for you in the cycle to fruition. You know, I think that there's a cycle that is coming into place, and maybe a shift that's just, you know, happening. And you guys have been doing level ups and things like that, to where, you know, potentially if you just hone in on one thing at a time, you would be able to make progress or make moves a little bit faster. Fortune's will. Oh, wow. Luck and right timing. Yep. So, okay. So this is good for the water signs. I don't think you guys have gotten any fortune cards in a minute. I think that, especially with this cycle, this moon cycles and solidness, I think that there is like a new fortunate, or, you know, basically prosperous cycle that may be coming into fruition for you guys, that comes with like a new level of opportunity. And you really may not be able to see that it's already in the works for you. And so that is why you need to be a little bit more intentional, so that, not even a little bit, a lot more, to where you're laser focused in on something specific, because by you being laser focused in, that's going to allow you to alchemize and transmute all the different things that might be slowed up in the process. But then it's going to allow you to be super grounded in the vision, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, and then also have like that, you know, that work ethic to bring it to fruition. Maybe have some more balance between that burnout thing, because that burnout thing is coming up. I don't know if that's you or another person, but Holy One, inspiration, healer. Are you guys dealing with a who got this? Was it earth or air? I think it might have been air. You guys might be dealing with an air sign. I don't know. But okay, in the hidden position. Okay, I think that something that you are doing, let's clarify this. Let's clarify this dust devil. What's happening? What is actually in the stagnation? Seven of Wands. Maybe the way you conflict resolve. Ooh, Emperor. Wow, that's ooh. When you conflict resolved, the way you lead, the way you exert your energy. I was saying there is too much yang energy showing up. And overall, so if that's all you, that means like you and your actions, that means with that, if that's all you, that means, okay. And your intuitive gifts and your like emotional disposition, like your overall just like, you know, energy, you know, what people feel and sense from you, you probably show that, okay, you are definitely making the first steps. You have the right intentions, things like that, blah, blah, blah. But when you are actually getting started and doing things, you may push yourself to burnout. You may, you know, get to the point to where you're overstimulated, overwhelmed, and it causes too much of the push and exertion of energy and not enough of the reception of it. So I think that if this is a relationship dynamic, you know, definitely that masculine energy does need to be healed. It needs to be healed. It needs to be turned up right. I think that it is, you know, either overexerted, overexhausted, overstimulated, and it needs a little bit of a rest. And that's what that healing and compassion is about. And more so, like, especially when we talk about the Holy One, trusting that the universe, the Most High, God, Allah, that there is other powers outside of you that can take the load off, and that there is room for miracles, surprises, things to work out without you being the person to do it. So that is a thing there. With that Seven of Wands, I'm thinking that it's about how you conflict resolved or handle conflict in general. You know what I'm saying? That could be what's being healed, so that you can, you know, stop getting stuck in a rut or in the same patterns with how you're doing certain things and being a lot more intentional. Because there are going to be some fortunate opportunities coming to you, and I think that you probably want to show up as your most, you know, aligned and divine self. Oh, Chariot. Wow, self-mastery for real. Okay, and this Ace of Wands, this is a semi-reverse, but we'll keep it up right for now. We'll just put it on the side. But I actually, yeah, that masculine energy is stuck in a loop of low key. So you guys do have to make sure you're mindful of that. With the Chariot, it does say that there's going to be some forward movement that's allowing you to kind of integrate more sides of yourself, really kind of like your masculine, your feminine, your dark, your light, you know, have both sides of you, you know, not mastered, but, you know, pretty much reined in, and you have a sense of control and discipline over it, so that you can make the forward movement that you need, especially when we have that dust devil. Because there might be some, I would say, I don't want to say complete distortion, but the fire and desire energy needs to be recalibrated, is what I'll say. The yang energy needs to be recalibrated. It could be, you know, focusing on interests that are short-lived, instant gratification, that sort of thing, instead of things that are going to have that long burning, lasting, you know, creative energy. So that's not bad. Anything else? I guess we can move on. Yeah, we could go to the outcome. Okay. Oh, Priestess of Cups is here. What else is at the bottom? Daughter of Wands. Wow, I like that. So Daughter of Wands, if you guys are in the beginning, if you make those initial steps towards whatever it is that's interesting, or, you know, interesting to you, motivating you and stuff like that, you may be able to kind of tap more into your receptive energy. But I think that you have to, like, with Daughter of Wands, it's also kind of saying that it's about expressing it. You know what I'm saying? It's about being like that messenger, you know what I'm saying, rather than always having to do. Like, sometimes you can just call in the energy rather than, you know, always looking to be the one like exerting the energy to make something happen. You could be like, oh, you know what, you could talk to a friend like, oh, I've been thinking about doing XYZ, do you know anything about that? And then boom, somebody does know, you know, that sort of thing, to where it's not to where someone else can connect a dot for you instead of you being the one that's doing it. Because I think that king of earth energy, that shaman of disc, that is showing up as on the burnt out side. And I think you're like trying to show some level of work ethic, but I don't think there's balance with it. Benevolence, sisters, guys, I guess was a great message. All right, diving deep into a task. Yes. Oh, into the shadows too. Okay, I do think there's some shadow work happening, especially because we do have the Fool's Embrace. like I said, some hard pills that you guys will have to swallow, just to kind of like face about yourself, or, you know, about certain dynamics or ways that your energy was just dispersed to where it wasn't, you know, clear, organized, you know, honed in or whatever. Because the reason why is because as you dive deeper into attached, you are going to be able to really see the value in certain things, especially when we talk about that Chariot and then we talk about treasures hidden in the shadows. I think that there's going to be some sides of even your pain, your more difficult things that you have to deal with, or more not self-sabotaging habits, or habits that are just not really conducive for, you know, your health and your, you know, your sustainability. I think that as you dive deeper into some of those shadow aspects, you're going to be able to see the value in your, either like your resilience, your endurance, you know, that sort of thing, or whatever it is. Especially if we talk about this yang energy, maybe your manifestation abilities, I don't know. You may see like the good in it, even though it's not always showing up as good in every relationship dynamic or situation. Deep quiet. Okay, good. Okay, disown self. It could be a part of you that you kind of don't really like to admit. Like, let's say like if you especially for the water signs, okay, with that King of Pentacles energy, that's like somebody who's used to like, oh, I have my shit together, I'm a hard worker, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, type of energy. But there's parts of you who knows that causes you to crash out. You're gonna need to freaking recharge, get some rest. You're gonna feel lazy. You're gonna need to be in like solitude, you know, all of that. And you don't really like to admit it. It doesn't feel good. It's not a good expression to say, yeah, like I'm gonna need, I don't know, 4 or 5 days to myself so that I can recharge after being on go for so long or whatever. And you may feel like, oh, you know, that doesn't show that you know, can truly handle it, or it doesn't show that you have the emperor status, that you can, you know, lead and whatever. And so like, you know, you may get insecure when it's brought up, or you may cause conflict when it's supposed to just be something that can be acknowledged instead of, you know, fought against, you know what I'm saying? So what you have to do is, and that's not even have to do, what we'll be mindful to do is kind of just embrace your cycles. And like I said, you may be realizing that there's certain ebbs and flows to your own emotional or energetic cycles that you have to just honor, make space for that, so that it's not, you know, a disowned part of you that you know, only shows its head when you're super burnt out. It's more so something that happens where it's like, I know I'm gonna need to recharge after this. I've already, you know, took my days off or whatever type of thing. Mother nurturing. Oh, that's so sweet. Inventor, ingenuity. Wow. This is good for the water signs. I think that you guys are, yes, you are reinventing the ways that you care for yourself, the ways that you're showing up for yourself, the ways that you are, you know, confronting those more painful or wounded parts of you, and, you know, approaching it in a totally new way. You know what I'm saying? I think that you're getting like the grace and the compassion, you know, from either healing modalities, practices, or just like your own connection to the Most High, divinity, and things like that. And it's paying off. You know, you just have to make sure that you're focused in on what it is that you feel called to, or whatever it is that singular, you know, divine passion or inspiration that you do have in your mind, that, you know, that single task or that single act of service, or single like creative work, because you do have a lot of wands energy, that's, you know, that creative project, that single one that's really like, you know, speaking the most to, you know, what you would want to see for longevity and things like that. And then, you know, be prepared for when the timing is right, because you do have opportunities coming in and things like that. I just think there needs to be a little bit more intentionality, as we can see, so that you can step up to the plate in an upright way, rather than, you know, step up to the plate, but if there's a conflict or if there's a challenge or whatever, you know, you may show up in a way that's like disowned or not fully integrated. But okay, I think that that was pretty good for the new moon. Let's go ahead to the next one.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so let's move on to Zephyr. Zephyr signs. Okay, so let's look at what I channeled for Zephyr signs. Okay. Oh, I need to look up to see like what Gunner's sun sign is or whatever. I don't know why. I think he might be a Libra though. But for some reason I kept seeing this every time I would try to go into the meditation or whatever for fire signs, that his performance or whatever, it was giving Shango energy, basically the underdog energy is that's what I was perceiving from it. They had a clip from his performance, whatever, and in New York, and it was like, oh wow, you know, he's uncanceled himself or whatever. I think that's Shango energy, that underdog type of feeling or whatever. Also I was like, maybe it could be like orchestrating or being a magician over like your lower natures. I don't really know. It was just interesting. I did also see like the Addams family, interesting. So maybe some family things going on. Maybe like, not saying, obviously not dark side of the family, but more so like the spiritual like inner workings of the family that may be coming up for you guys. Adam's family is very goth, so you know, spiritual inner workings of the family, that sort of thing. Underworld, self-mastery. I was like, because I saw a dog and I was like, maybe that's Anubis, because I was like, okay, I'm keep feeling like with the Adams family, with the music performance, I was like, again, a little bit more of the just the shadowy aspects of things. So I was like, could it be like underworld self-mastery type of energy? And then when I asked for an animal, I got actually a skeleton. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's a little goth for you. It's giving a little goth right now for the fire signs. So let's see what shows up. Okay. Overflow, overwhelm, plenty. Horseman, herald of change. Okay. That horseman, herald of change is definitely giving Gunna, because you know people are like, oh, you know, is street rules dead or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, he was never really street, so you know how that go. But he is being a symbol of, because I mean, technically with Tekashi 6ix9ine, who was just in the same situation, he caught a lot of flack, but then Gunna's not. So it is showing a shift, you know, in a way. But let's look at the overall energy. Will of the West, treasure in the deep, disowned self. Could be dealing with a water sign. Let's see. You could be dealing with a water sign. Just because they got that energy as well. I can specific. Oh, let me look at the ancestors message. I can specific. Mentor, coach, lover. Oh. Excuse me. This is interesante. I don't really know now. I don't know where this is going now. Okay, let's get some clarity. Let's clarify this lover in reverse. If you're specific, it's like learning from love. Empress, judgment. Woo. Do you wanna be my lover? Do you wanna be my Empress and judgment is definitely giving. To clarify, lovers in reverse. Jesus. There's some. Okay, mentor, coach, lovers in reverse. It's more saying like I have I have learned what I needed to learn, essentially. And that type of situation, this is kind of like, it's like where you have a relationship with somebody whose zodiac sign squares yours. So what that means is that it brings like a level of challenge and lessons and things that you have to learn from. And that is not the most advantageous or peaceful or harmonious blend in a relationship, right? However, people have other elements within their chart. They may have other forms of synergy, like maybe with cardology or something like that, to where they actually do need challenge in a relationship. So it's one of those things to where it's a give and take type of thing, to where it is having a level of an inverse like relationship, and it does take a lot in order to, it takes a lot from both ends in order for it to actually be balanced. So that may be why with the Empress, and in regards to the Empress, it's all about, you know, really like, how is this truly like representing how I feel, how I see myself, my self-value, my self-worth. There's like a finalization and a judgment happening around that, specifically to induce some level of spiritual transformation. We have the Seven of Swords and the Crone energy coming out. I think this is in relation to the root girl. Seven of Swords. I think that with the shadows, this probably, especially with the shadows, there may have just been wrongdoings, like ways that you may have been done wrong, ways that, you know, people may have been preying on some weaknesses or, you know, shadowy parts of yourself. And, you know, it caused you to really have to extract the wisdom from it. With that Crone energy, you might be slightly jaded or something like this. Could be some jadedness happening with that, with the Crone in reverse. But it could just be like strict, Judge Judy type of strict energy. And the reason why I'm not mad at it is because we do have Horseman, Herald of Change, Overwhelm, Overflow, Overwhelm, and Plenty. And then we have Treasures in the Shadows and Root Girl, Disowned Self. If this makes you a little bit more sharper, discerning, strict, could come off as jaded, that's not the worst situation. That's not the worst scenario, you know, for that type of energy to happen, because it does suggest that it's like somebody who's breaking a generational curse, you know, who's maybe a little bit shunned out, and they may feel like the black sheep, and they may not really feel like they have a true sense of belonging. So they might isolate a little bit more than normal, or, you know, they may be a little bit like, you know, how those older ladies can be like, you know, finger wagging type of, you know, critical type of thing. It could show up in that way, but I think that, you know, there's something that is coming up for you that is like major integration about like different parts of yourself, and it's actually showing, like, you're showing the proof of what alchemy looks like. You're showing the proof of what doing something differently looks like, and you can't really waver on that right now, specifically because there has been some ways in which people have maybe taken advantage of you, or just approached things in a way that was deceptive, sneaky, or whatever, to where like you really don't have the same trust as willingly as you did before. Which it's at this point, especially when we have the Judgment, the Empress, it might be what's kind of meant to be. Okay, let's get some clarity for the Tarot of Change and Overwhelm, Plenty situation. Eight of Wands, Strength card. Wow. Okay, I think that something is like really testing you. Something is truly being like a test of your strength, and it's coming at you fast. And so that's what the Overwhelm and is about, because I don't think that you are strong enough to withstand it, but I don't think that you were seeing it coming. And it's seeing truly like, okay, have you, how are you going to, with that Herald of Change, like, how are you going to show up and show out? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to show how it's done? You know what I'm saying? Like that's that type of energy. Like you basically to where it's like, okay, you're the prime example of somebody who, you know, went through XYZ. So now that it's being thrown at you and you're getting a curveball, show me how it's done type of thing. So let's look at what's hidden for the fire signs. A tiny house, transmuting pain. Are y'all dealing with a water sign for real? The water sign got this for real. Y'all might be dealing with a water sign, child. Okay, so this is what's hidden. Y'all, you and a water sign may be having a mirroring relationship, or just in general, I think that this is just about, especially because water signs also got a disowned self, especially if you are reintegrating parts of yourself that you may have felt like were beneath you, or the, you know, the bad parts or parts of you that you had to release and let go and never want to return to again. If you guys are integrating that and seeing like the strength and the power in it, you may really need to figure out how to compartmentalize it. Like, where do I put this part of me? This part of me that, let's say like somebody who is a warrior, they come back from a war or whatever. They need to figure out where to put that part of them that is ready, that is militant, that is ready for combat. They may end up going to work out, going into boxing, stuff like that, because they actually need an outlet for this part of themselves that could be deemed as bad, you know? Deep quiet, wow. Well song resonating. Okay, listening to the heart. And deep quiet meditation is what's hidden. Wow, this lover situation, let's clarify. Let's see what else is going on here. I think that you guys are really getting attuned to the heart, because this lover is a mentor situation. Like, you guys are learning a lot from love. You may be learning a lot from your partner. You may be learning a lot from your love life, the romantic interests or emotional connections that you do have. And it's causing you to like really reflect and really tune into the heart. Holy One inspiration. Oh my God, this one came out at everybody reading. Wow. Okay, I think that... Okay, let's just get some clarity, because right now that has been showing up to me as different, like really connecting to your inner divinity. And obviously that could be with the Most High and every, you know, and other aspects like that, the universe, however, you know, people resonate with having power out. Like, there's other things that have power outside of you, and kind of surrendering to the process of that, and knowing that you will be shown grace. You will be able to be healed, by like trusting source, you know what I'm saying? 5 of Wands. So something is happening. 5 of Wands with this 7 of Discs. I think that there's some anticipation of things going wrong. Because with 5 of Wands, okay, with 5 of Wands, it could be like, okay, there was a fight, there was a conflict, and now with the 7 of Pentacles, like, you're kind of like waiting to see like what's the aftermath or how to resolve it, or, you know, what's going to happen next. But I do think that there could be with the 7 of Discs, like, you know, maybe kind of waiting for some underlying thing to kind of come to the surface, sort of thing. Like, there might be some, you know, you know that there's a conversation waiting or whatever. Like, let's say, you know, similar to like, okay, when you were younger and you knew that the teacher called your house and left a voicemail, you knew all the whole way on home and all the way you waiting for your mom to get home that there was a conversation and it could potentially be a fight that was happening or whatever, and you kind of just are waiting for it to see what happens and see it play out. Like, you're kind of anticipating some level of conflict or something like that. But it could also be like waiting in letting the dust settle after a conflict or whatever. And I think that is because you're taking most of the time to like truly make sure that you're showing up as your full self, and that you're not letting, you know, maybe wounds from the past or whatever, like, dictate how you respond. Like, you don't want to be reactionary. So some clarity about what's hidden. Shaman of Swords, 8 of Discs. Okay, it looks like you guys are really trying to work hard towards something. You guys are kind of like, okay, what you're going into deep quiet for, and that meditation is because you are really planning and strategizing. You're trying to put together a blueprint of something because you really want to make like some major initiative, or I don't want to say initiative, but you have some major plans or whatever that you're looking to lay out and express or whatever, right? And so like you're taking the necessary steps to build towards it. Like you're willing to maybe take a junior level instead of a senior level. You're willing to kind of play the support instead of the primary in certain things, because you do have a bigger picture and a bigger plan that you're looking to bring to fruition, and you're trying to go ahead and just get into that deep quiet so that it could be solidified in your mind's eye, so that when you are building towards it, like you see the end goal, right? Let's see what else is going on with this Five of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles though. Priestess of Disc. Two of Cups reversed. It does have to do with relationship. Yeah, this is your relationship stuff. This Lovers I think that there's some lesson learned or being learned through your relationships. Priestess of Cups. So it could be like a earth sign. What else did I see? But it could just be the more feminine energy in general, because you have the Two of Cups. It could just be the more feminine energy in this. Something's going on here where there's been like just some level of conflict or something like that. What is happening? Oh, we got the Ace of Swords. Some truth or something that needed to be expressed or something like that. Like something that was expressed, something that was said. Oh, Five of Swords. Oh yeah. Some truth that was expressed that started an argument, basically. Pretty much. So that's that whole Lovers thing. And you guys are kind of learning. So there could be like a square aspect to you and somebody that you're dating or you're emotionally connected to. And they may have said something that really rubbed you the wrong way, or really kind of was like, oh, like I need a moment. I need to like really kind of wait this out and kind of really see like where I want to go with this. Because, it might have just been too much of a but a challenge, or it's like it kind of just taught you a lesson about something. Essentially, it's teaching you a lesson. Do you want to do one more? Let's do one more for y'all to figure out what's going on and the clarity for what's hidden. World. Sun of Disc. Sun of Disc is like the Knight. You guys are making the moves towards a specific type of shift that you want to see. And you do have your eyes on a target. So maybe like, I don't know, something about that relationship thing, it may not. Let's get a card for this whole, relationship aspect. The Two of Cups reverse and this Lovers reverse. Let's get accurate specific message for that. It is a more feminine aspect. You guys could literally be dealing with a water sign, but whatever it is, it's the Yin energy, and then this Emperor reverse. So this is somebody who does have like, they could be showing up as hyper masculine, even though they are the feminine. They could be showing like hyper masculine tendencies to where they're trying to, be the boss, dictate, controlling, whatever it may be, that sort of energy. And it's causing a lesson to be learned in a specific relationship. So maybe, especially for that divine feminine energy, if there's like an alpha woman type of energy, or even like a distorted feminine energy, to where like, let's say like there's a man in a relationship, and he may be like, oh, I'm the man, I'm so manly, I'm so macho, but then like he's an emotional manipulator, he does like, I don't know, all type of shit, whatever, to where it's like you know, he's playing with the emotions of, you know, his partner or whatever, you know, and it's not in a healthy way. He's trying to get some level of control. That you know, that's something to be mindful of. But overall, though, I do think that there's a greater plan that you're focused on, which is why you're taking a pause and a beat to like put the relationship stuff to the side. Like, okay, let's just wait and see how that pans out, because, you know, I have some pain to transmute from this and really kind of compartmentalize, like, where does this fall in terms of priority for me? Okay, so let's look at the overall energy. Limitless possibilities. Or radical acceptance. Okay. So for the outcome, I do see that you guys are going to be able to tap into like different possibilities. Maybe having some self-acceptance going on, that there could be some ways in which, you know, with these relationship dynamics that are mirroring each other, to where like you may, parts of them are parts of you, to where it's like you may not realize why you attracted to the type of person, but they have a part of them that, you know, is within you, and you're kind of accepting it. So you're kind of like seeing like, you know, more possibilities in regards to just like the heart space in general, like having that sense of like belonging, having that sense of, you know, like emotional connection. Wow. Woo, too much that came out now. We ain't gonna take everything now. I see what it was. Let's see if it come back. But I think that you're maybe like doing some heart attunement, so that you can just be more accepting of like where you, like how much range you truly do have. Look, let's say you do attract someone who has like this crazy, you know, villain-esque type of archetype or whatever. Like, oh wow, you know, like, you know, I could be with the freaking just thought about Joker and Harley Quinn, Lord. That, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I have the range to be with this type of person. You do, essentially. You do. Let's see what else. Close the door, completion. Oh, cosmic womb. Okay, the feminine energy. Did you guys get the Empress in anything? Did you get the Empress in Judgment with the Lovers? I think you did. Yeah. Okay, so this closing door, completion, and cosmic womb, divine feminine, the feminine energy is rejecting something. The Empress energy is rejecting this distorted emperor. Maybe an emperor who is, you know, it could be just somebody who's like hyper feminine, or they could be hyper masculine, and either way it's imbalanced. It's like they're exerting like this weird warped sense of control and leadership that they truly are just not balanced in. And so with the cosmic womb, the divine feminine, closing door, it's like I'm good on that. Is that a 5 and a 6? Damn. Woo, that's a for sure. It's a boop boop. 1, 2, that's it. Let's get one more overall card for the overall energy. For my fire signs. Actor performance. Explore and adventure. So for my fire signs, I do think that you guys are going to be probably getting out. Like if you have been a little bit in a lover situation that hasn't been panning out, that is turning into more of a lesson rather than just enjoyment, you're probably going to be looking to explore, have a sense of adventure, do things that are going to be a little bit more authentic, less things that are going to feel like it's an obligation or performative, or you have to do XYZ sort of thing. I think that there is like a feminine energy around the situation, fire signs, to where even if it's like a maternal energy, you know, if it's family related, friends, or a boss or whatever, there's a feminine energy to where I do think it's mostly in a lover situation, to be completely honest with you. The yin aspect is more so like creating certain levels of boundaries, or basically cutting things, that King of Swords, like cutting things out, you know, trimming the fat, basically. And there's just a level of acceptance and things like that that's coming forward. Because I feel like you guys see like there's a lot more possibilities for you. You're not really limited in this situation. Let's clarify this active performance though real quick. Hangman, yeah. Justice, yeah. You want more harmony, peace, and balance so that you don't feel like you have to perform. You don't feel like you have to perform and be, you know, something that you're truly not. You know, or it's just something that a role to fill for someone. So you want more balance, you want fairness around that. So, all right, okay, that was the message. Thank you so much, guys. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next week.